expressed. Hello and welcome to episode number 120 of the NJ Multi-Species Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Santiago. As always, my partner, Chris Pereira.
I'm here, live.
We are still live, somewhat, even though I've survived off one piece of pizza crust and an apple for 48 hours.
I've never seen someone take... So we had some pizza. Joe doesn't do well with cheese. And so he took a piece of pizza, ate the crust, and threw the rest of the pizza to the seagulls. I've seen the opposite, but I've never seen that.
Yeah, not much food. We'd had a quite adventurous weekend going up to the Salmon River and then bouncing around doing other stuff that we haven't normally done. Some new fishing we did. So we fished the river for an entire day, which turned out to be pretty good. I wouldn't say like go run up there right now. It was incredible, but for the shitty reports we were hearing, it was a lot better than we expected.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been doing it this is only my third time going up there in the last.
Would you say this was the most fish you ever saw in the river, catchable out of the 3 times you went?
Yeah.
That could be attributed though to the low water where they're easy to see.
Yeah, and I mean, well, what was surprising to me, right, is like at that one point in time where in that one area you could really see. Like the sun was up, right in the middle, shooting right down the river, and you could see clear as day, just dozens and dozens and dozens of salmon in there, right? And it was kind of interesting to see as people would drift their, what do you call it? I don't know. I'm just going to keep calling it snagging. They drift their snagging contraption through the river there, and you could see the fish just very clearly like ninjas dodging all the lines, like just dodging. Like you could just see at that point in time, nobody had a chance in hell. Like they saw everything happening. It's just, there's no way anyone was hooking a fish there. And they didn't at that time in that particular spot. And it was kind of.
And then one of the other things was when we actually were able to hook into some fish, these fish were not ready to be landed too easily. Like one, I think, ran so far upstream, I just snapped him off immediately. I didn't even try. Chris, I think you had maybe 4 bust you off. I got busted off by everything. I landed nothing in the river. The one fish that I had really good in the mouth, he gave me like 5 awesome jumps. I mean, he was in the mouth good, and he unfortunately got snagged on another angler's line and lost the fish. Typical Salmon River bullshit. But not bad river-wise. I'm calling it successful, better than expected.
My expectations.
We didn't stop though. The only thing I do have to say is we fished from the time you could fish until the time you couldn't fish. Everyone else left. We took no lunch break. We didn't even sit down barely. I mean, we fished as hard as possible. So, I'm usually happy with that. Even if I failed, I would say, yeah, I tried my best. Nothing else I could have done. Now we move on. We have a friend. I'm not going to say the friend's name because if I say his name, it gives away kind of the area that I'm in. But we have a friend knows a lot of spots all up through New York. So he took us to a spot to try the skien fishing on bobbers for the fish that are actually still biting. And I think we ended up hooking, we had 9 bobbers go down. Only 1 hookup, which was Chris. And the fish burned so much line off and ran through so many docks that he had no chance in hell of even landing it. And no chance at all.
I mean, I still think he gave me like a stream trout rod. That thing just, I mean, it hit. Well, I mean, like you said, we missed so many takedowns and we couldn't really figure out why. I guess the way.
A lot of them were myself. I would stare at my bobber for like 30 minutes and it would do nothing. And I would look down at my phone for 2 seconds and look up, the bobber's gone. It was just like every time someone looked away, the bobber went down.
I mean, it's all kind of new stuff to me. I've never really done that. I've drifted like single eggs and stuff like that for like steelhead a couple times. Even that I haven't done that much. But this was totally different. But I guess it's my understanding that the salmon aren't really necessarily eating the skien sack to eat it. They're attacking it to kind of break it up and like destroy the eggs because out of
Yes.
instinct, right? That's
On the Oswego River, the two primary ways to fish off the wall is with the skein sack under a float or that J13 plug. The J13 plug is exactly the same as that idea. They're not eating it because they want to eat the lure. They're mad at it or whatever it is. They want it out of there. They don't like it. Now that brings us. So we end up 0 for 9
it's
skein
like
fish.
to give. It's like to give their eggs a better chance. You're going to destroy some other
Exactly.
eggs. I mean, that's what I was told. So,
Natural selection kind of stuff.
yeah.
And they do that on the beds too. Like when you go in the later season and see like 8 male salmon guarding a salmon bed on a flat. I've seen like a leaf roll into there and they'll all go crazy to attack it. Anything that goes in onto the nest, they'll just destroy it, just by instinct. But then moving on to the night fishing,
That's
we
my favorite.
did. Yeah, this was Chris's favorite. He loved this, which I'm happy because he's kind of pissed. Well, no, I actually wasn't in that bad of a mood really this time. He was a little mad, but not as
Well,
mad.
Look, we fished 11 hours straight, and I hooked. Like I hooked 6 fish all day. I'm totally okay with that. The issue was in the 11 hours, it all happened in 1 hour. Like
Yeah.
every fish I hooked, I landed 2, I hooked 6. You know, a couple of them ran up river, broke me off. A couple of them came off. I would have been happy. I just wish it was spread out. Like 10 hours is a long time to be fishing without hooking a fish.
And I think there's always if we had a little more cloud cover and a little more water flow, the fish would be a little less spooky. We were under a very tough condition. The water flow is at 198. I mean, it's a piss trickle of water. If anyone's being told to go up there because there's actually water, that's not true. There is no water. But there is fish. If you could find the holding pool like me and Chris did, we were staring at 100 salmon all day. Just every time you casted, they would move out of the way. We kind of figured out the best way towards the end was to move up into the faster water because they had less of a chance of seeing the line. I think Chris hooked like 4 fish right in a row in one spot in the fast water. That's where I hooked my best one of the day, right in the mouth from that fast water too. So if you do go up there and face these low water conditions and see them fish in that still water, very tough to get to. Try to move to the faster water just above that. It'll give you a better chance to hook up. But moving on to the lake. And did I say we're live on YouTube for the first time ever? I have to say hello to the YouTube viewers because it's our first time ever. We're live on Facebook and YouTube.
How many are there?
Time.
3?
I don't know. I haven't figured that out. Deuce knows if he could say that in my ear. I have no idea. How many are on the YouTube, Chris asked me, because I still can't figure out how to see that.
300 people are watching on YouTube? You serious?
3 million. He said 3 million. 3 million people are watching on YouTube Live. Okay, so moving on to the lake. Now the skein fishing I've done before. So I did. I was used to that, new to Chris. This night thing I've never seen. I didn't even believe this was real. Basically, get out there. Everyone thinks we were in the estuary, but we weren't. The estuary's kind of empty still. You have to go further than the estuary into like the harbor where the boats are and the mouth of the river. Basically just throwing lures at night. And I said, this is it. This now you do it and you say, well, these salmon don't bite. I'm not used to this. And all of a sudden, the lure gets drilled. I mean, very similar to blue fishing. No, I mean that's the best way to describe it. It was like night blue fishing.
I mean, in all honesty, I've never night fished for bluefish with lures.
Oh, that's a good point.
I've
Yeah,
always used chunks. Um,
anchovies.
but I mean, like if you're day fishing for bluefish, you're usually burning the lure pretty good. This was the exact opposite, really. But I mean, it's definitely something that's not that popular or known. I don't know. I'm not going to share really anything. It's not mine to share, other than that it was one of the coolest things I've ever done. And
Well,
yeah,
the thing I have to say for people that are listening to this that are interested, I've seen people at the Salmon River do this from shore for a long time. I've seen them do it from the 2A bridge. I've seen them do that from the estuary. They have a concrete platform there. I've always seen people doing this. I've never seen it actually work in person, except one time I did see a guy catch a fish. This worked. Now I know it works. And I think for now on, when I go up to Salmon River, there might be a few spoons and a casting rod always in the truck, because if you get struck out in the river, this is a pretty viable option. And it's actually can be successful from shore.
oh yeah. I mean, obviously, I'd always rather be in a boat just because you have more of an advantage and a freedom to move around and change the angles. From shore, and like the angle of your cast can be super important, right? I mean, and from shore with private property and stuff, a lot of times you have one or two spots you can stand on and cast. You can only hit so many angles. But yeah, I mean, and just to be clear, this is not something that is like you go out there and you might have to go 50 times and you finally get to hook one. Like this is a very effective, could be a very effective thing. I mean, it. I don't know. I like I said, we're not really going to share any of the details because it's not ours to share. But we can confirm that it could be very
Does
successful
work.
once you figure it out. And our buddy was nice enough to show us this, and it's pretty cool. Do I not even say his name so people won't bother him about
I
it?
mean, I wouldn't bother them. If you go in NJ Multi-Species Mayhem and look up Craig McGinnis, Freedom Outdoor Guide Service, he does this. He actually does this. He likes this. He doesn't like the river. He makes fun of me when I fish the river. He particularly loves this and does it. So if you were interested in something like that, that would be the only person that I know to call, honestly.
Well, that's not who we went with. We went with a buddy.
No.
We can go with a guide, but it's cool that there's a guide that does it.
He's actually offered me a couple times when I've been up there with my kids to swing by and see him, and he said he would help my kids do that. So that could happen. So yeah, Craig McGinnis, he's cool. He is a guide too. Owns a guide service in New Jersey. I don't know if he actually does guide in New York, but he may at least point you in the right direction.
No, all I know is this is one of the coolest things I've ever done. I love night fishing. I mean, it was like hybrid, it was like night fishing for hybrids, but for salmon.
Well, the other thing that I would say is, from what I saw, I think that would be possible to do here.
Say that again. It's impossible to do here?
No, I think it's possible. I think it could be done here in certain spots. I think that they could get a fishery like that in New Jersey if they stock those fish pretty much the same way as they do it there. It would be the same effect.
I mean, I don't know, maybe, but I mean, we got enough problems. We got enough
We
problems.
do. Well, yeah, you don't like the salmon that New Jersey's that it is just so cool. I'm willing to drive to do it. It sucks that it's so far though. Like, why can't we have it here? But I guess they say the same shit about hybrid striped bass. They probably have to drive down here to go for that.
I'm not. I think they have some fisheries. I'm not totally sure, but
Max Wilson commented, Chris is not qualified enough to talk about salmon fishing. Shout out to Max Wilson, by the way. He was supposed to be with us and missed a great trip and a fun trip to get engaged to Paige. Congratulations to Paige.
My condolences to Paige. Yeah,
I'm heading back to Salmon River in a few weeks with Max and Paige, so that will be cool.
do you think he'll bail on that trip too, or?
I don't think he'll bail on that trip, no. And I
No.
think we'll probably end up doing some more of the lake shit that we did with my kids, hopefully. My kids would probably, I don't know if my son would be able to reel in that spoon that fast yet, but I could hook them for him probably. My daughter could probably do it. Tonight's guest is, so yeah, salmon fishing's looking good now. If the water's terrible situation, but the fish look decent and held back enough that October looks good for my prediction. If no water comes, October's in big trouble. But if water does come, October should be phenomenal. We'll say that. Tonight's guest, Phil Wildman Outdoors. Phil is the person who took Chris and Dave and Katie's brother-in-law out for the Sturgeon trip. Columbia River, it's one of the most famous places in the United States for sturgeon fishing, but also for walleye. And if you look at Phil Wildman Outdoors, this guy does tons of stuff. Crabbing, he does all kinds of salmon fishing, trout fishing, likes to live off land. So we're going to have a cool conversation with him live here in a minute.
He's ready.
I think, he's ready. Tell Phil to come in. Deuce, I don't know if we're going to go to a quick pause to get Phil, but we are going to go to a quick pause here, get Phil Wildman Outdoors in. Oh, I haven't done any reads either. The fall is here. Both of our guide services are doing phenomenal. It depends which region you want to fish and how you want to fish. So Eddie Mackin's Rippin Lips fishing trips, Lake Apparel, he's crushing hybrids. If you want to catch hybrid striped bass on Lake Apparel, now's the time to call Mackin. Even if you're alone, you can call Mackin. He'll figure out a way with his red eye trip. He'll still cater to you. Yellow Dog Paddle continues to troll Round Valley and catch nice trout. Also approaching is the jigging on the Delaware River. Mike does jig up some nice walleye. The only problem, his availability is very limited for the fall Delaware River thing because he has a high customer return rate. If you want to jig the Delaware River with Mike Herman, I would recommend calling Yellow Dog Paddle and reserving that trip. Definitely. So yes, Lake Apparel or Round Valley, everyone knows exactly who to call. You want to get some Delaware River jigging in, call Mike Herman. We are going to cut real quick. We will be right back when we come back with Phil Wildman. All right, so we are back. I'd like to introduce, he's been a guide now since 2009, multi-species angler, fishes for all kinds of crazy things we don't even have here. Phil Wildman, Outdoor Adventures, welcome to the NJ Multi-Species Podcast.
Thanks for having me, boys. I appreciate it.
I know that you're already well acquainted with Chris and Dave and the boys from here. They've been out twice fishing with you. Dave once, but Chris has been there twice. I was telling Chris on a car ride the other day, because he just always talks about sturgeon, sturgeon, sturgeon. I follow your channel, and I love your content. I was telling Chris about I watch your crabbing videos, and you cook. I watch all that shit. And I was telling Chris. So you are like a multi-species guy, just like us. You do all kinds of stuff, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I catch them, I clean them, I cook them, I eat them, and I can do all of it pretty much.
It's kind of funny to me. Like, we go on this sturgeon trip. I tried to get Joe to go. By the way, I think I told you he's scared to fly.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's scared.
There are trains that go there.
Yeah, you could take Amtrak, drink your way over in the bar car. You'd be good.
I would take a sleeper train.
I offered. I said, if you want to meet us there riding the train, that's fine. I'm flying there, and that's the end of it. But isn't it funny, like sturgeon fishing? Like, it's so cool. Like, people have seen the videos if they haven't done it. Like, these hundreds and hundreds of pounds fish just jumping out of the water. Like, it's almost like tuna fishing in the river.
It never gets old.
And Joe is more interested in your crabbing videos.
Well, if you've ever had Dungeness, you'd want to come back and do that as well. They're delicious. You know, it's funny because I can post most things. Like, if I post the sturgeon little reel or whatever, I'll get like 25 likes. I did that crab pot, and I was with Charlie that day, Northwest Sturgeon Adventures. He and I were out in the ocean together, and I just decided I want to do this. I got like 81,000 likes on that thing.
I
It went nuts.
It got me. It got me. I'm a fan.
Explain that to me, boys. Explain that to me.
Oh, we've got,
because I've already seen. I mean, listen, the sturgeon are amazing. I've never seen one in person. It's like a bucket list fish of a lifetime. Have I seen them on the internet before? Yeah, I've seen them. Is it all the time I see guys catching big crabs like that and cooking them? No, I don't see that.
Phil,
I get it. We take it for granted. We take the sturgeon for granted too. Me especially. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't do oversized. Charlie got me into it. I would catch my record is a 9-footer on a walleye rod, a GLX Walleye Series Loomis rod. So, you know, it's kind of like overkill when I take you out with the really nice stuff that you get to use that feel out 100 yards at a time.
And also,
you know,
what comes to mind right away is that the Columbia River. I mean, when that comes into a conversation, it's immediately brought up as a world-class walleye fishery.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't think the sturgeon would the sturgeon be mentioned first over the walleye, you think, or no?
Only at Charlie's dinner table, perhaps.
I mean,
he's a walleye junkie too. Don't get me wrong. That guy can catch anything, and he does. And he's a really good walleye fisherman. We just do different things when it comes to walleye.
Just so everyone's clear, so Charlie at Northwest Sturgeon, is it? I don't want to say it wrong. It's Northwest Sturgeon.
You're right. Sturgeon Adventures.
Okay. You and Charlie are the only two guys that I'll fly out there to fish sturgeon with. And we met Charlie through our buddy Justin, and it was incredible. And I had gone one other time with a different guide. I don't remember his name. Real nice guy. I think we caught one oversized in 2 days each. And I thought that was cool. And I didn't know anything about it, right? But then after that, we went with Charlie, and you see the differences in the way that you guys fish versus the ways that the first guy fished, and you saw the differences in why. It wasn't just chance that we didn't land, you know, like when we go with you guys. And I know fishing is fishing. Like, you're not gonna have a banner day every time, but there's things that you guys do that definitely push the odds in your favor to land multiple giant sturgeon.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't want to cut you
know,
guys off. I do just want to mention real quick. We are going to tell you how we're going to do a giveaway for Mike K's guide service later for to win flies. Forgot to mention that. So if you are on here and want to win the fly bundle, don't get off. Well, how exactly? Because here we have only the small blue crabs. I want to ask about the crabs because I have to. How exactly do you catch those crabs? Like, do you guys use drop lines and regular crab traps like us, or is it other
yeah,
stuff?
we just have crab pots. I run them.
And are those like are those really far out or they're close?
No, that video I posted, we were in 20 feet of water, right? I mean, we were just off the break. So
I mean,
we
you
were,
could just go right out there and catch those
you know,
giant crabs.
there are places on negative tides, like tide pools and things, that they get.
We lose them?
Yeah, he froze for a second on mine.
Did we just lose Phil Wildman?
All right, well,
that sucks. Phil Wildman seems to be frozen, but it's okay. These are things that happen live that you have to deal with.
He'll be back on.
He will be back.
I don't know anything about the crab fishing that you're so obsessed with, but I do know.
I think listen, the reason I'm so obsessed with it is because this guy is literally from the polar opposite side of the country that I've never been to. I mean, I know you've been there. I don't fly, so to me, it's so far away. And it's really interesting that like this, you could just go, that close and catch all those gigantic crabs. Like you can't do that here. If you could, it would be ruined in a day.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm assuming they don't. Do they have blue claw crabs? I'm assuming they don't. Like that's the crabs that they have.
That's why we need them back. They also have, 17-foot long fish you can catch. We don't have that either, but
I mean, it's a whole different. Like the Pacific Ocean is basically completely different in almost every way, shape, and form than the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, I was just going to get into that because we just came back from Salmon River, and I'm pretty sure he does a lot of salmon and steelhead runs.
He does.
And I was going to ask him if he's flossing them in the river, or is he fishing for them he lake fishes?
No, I am 99% sure they don't floss them.
Okay, so they come into the river and just eat. All right, we need Phil back. If you could text him. Also, if you're listening from YouTube or Facebook Live, we could use questions for Phil. If you have questions for Phil or us, post it. I will read it. Or a comment. I will go back to congratulating my salmon blood brother, Max Wilson, because I am so happy for him. He's married. He's going to be an adult now. Even though I haven't seen him in 3 years because he stopped fishing, I still love him. He's my friend. So congrats to Max and Paige. Awesome news inside of our little fishing community. Other news we have. We ordered hats in new colors. Camouflage ones. We have orange ones. If Kevin Glenn's listening, I know he's like trying to order the camo one right now. Not available yet. It'll be here soon. But they are being made. So the website, when you click on the hats, because what's her name? Crazy Rachel was screaming at me that her pink hat wasn't available on the website. It is available. You just click the hat, and then the color options are you can pick any color you want. There are going to be some new ones. There's a camo one, an orange camo one. There's some more girl stuff. That'll be available. Chris, anything with Phil in the text? It seems like his phone exploded.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, maybe the phone froze and is resetting because you're not answering the text right. He just answered, so he's resetting it.
Okay, good. So Phil Wildman will be back.
Yeah, might take a couple minutes.
I am going to have to soon start to bother Jerry Zagorski about the Christmas party. The Christmas party, December 6th, is booked. Oh, I could talk about Mike K. Mike K's giveaway while Phil's not here. So Mike K had an interesting idea. He tied 30 of his best. Hello, James Flynn. James Flynn, you are the first ever comment on YouTube Live. Okay? #1 ever.
Does he get a prize?
I'm going to send him a shirt. James, send me a email, and I'm going to send a Suffer for the Fish shirt to you, our first YouTube live comment ever. That's cool. Mike K came up with a cool idea. I'm going to post a picture of Mike K with some of his buddies with a salmon. All you have to do is post a group photo of you and your friends underneath that. It has to be 3 or more people. It can't just be you and one other person. It has to be 3 people. So you and 2 friends at least. It could be 10, whatever. Whatever picture gets the most likes is going to get a bundle of 30 hand-tied flies by Mike K, his favorite ones that he uses for on the Salmon River. It's a pretty cool giveaway. It takes Mike a lot of time to tie the flies. And yeah, he wants to see everyone post the group photos, which is awesome to see. It's going to be hard to pick the best one. So I will post that picture of Mike K, and we thank Mike K's Guide Service for the giveaway.
So basically, if you have no friends or only one friend, you have no chance. You can't win.
If you only have fishing pictures of you and one friend, you can't enter. No, it's three or more. Okay, Phil Wildman is ready to come back in. I really quickly do want to say, though, while Phil, welcome back. We're sorry that happened.
Thank you. I don't even know what happened.
I have to say real quick, sea bass season coming quick. 8-ball sport fishing. Who's more flexible than them? Want a 6-pack charter? Call Captain Dom at 8-ball and ask him for a price. I guarantee you're going to be astonished by the price he's going to give you for a private 6-pack. It's going to be 10 fish per person, too. If you guys want to go out with 6 people, 5 people, or maybe there's only 4 and he'll find 2. Or maybe he won't even. He'll just take you at 4. He's very flexible. Have a good time. Fill the cooler. Right now, the New Jersey sea bass fishing is the best in the world. Is it going to stay that way forever? Possibly not. Most things don't. Get out there on a boat this October and fill a cooler with sea bass. Call 8-Ball Sportfishing in Point Pleasant right now.
And by the way, real quick, I was just talking to Dom, and you still have to pick a date for us to go sea bass fishing. I'm not picking the date because I'm not hearing you complain that you can't go. You're doing
Okay, well, I'm telling Dom right now, live on here, I'm taking 2 sea bass dates. I want 2.
There you go. It's set in stone. All right.
Okay, we're going back to Captain Phil Wildman from Phil Wildman Outdoors.
Outdoor Adventures.
Outdoor Adventures. Chris, you could now talk to him. Everything is functioning.
All right, we don't have to talk about crabs anymore. Are you good?
I did want to still ask. We wanted to ask Phil, do you have blue claw crabs there like us or no? No, okay, so that's an East Coast thing.
Yeah, Dungeness and then rock crab.
I wanted to ask if you fish the rivers, because I'm imagining where you are located, you get runs of salmon and steelhead there.
Yeah, right now we're in the thick of it.
Do you river fish that?
Yeah, I start in the ocean, like right after I'm done with oversized, so early August, and then all of August I spend in Astoria fishing the mouth of the Columbia. If the weather permits and the ocean's calm enough, we'll run out and fish the ocean. And then normally, if we pound on them too much, they'll shut us off, and then they'll push us into the river. And just as of yesterday, they closed us to above Bonneville. So in order to salmon fish, now I got to go above Bonneville Dam. And more than likely, once they get the numbers they want over the dam, we'll be open back up down here around home, which is a whole lot nicer because all summer I don't really sleep in my own bed too much.
In case anyone doesn't realize this, so like our salmon fishery is, I mean, it's fabricated like concoction. They've stocked these salmon. The salmon think the Great Lakes are the ocean instinctually, and they do kind of like a reverse. Rather than go live their life in the ocean and come back into the river to spawn, they live their life in the Great Lakes and then come up, the rivers to spawn that way.
Yeah.
And I've never salmon fished out by you. I don't know if you've ever salmon fished on the East Coast here. Have you?
Not East Coast, but Midwest. I grew up fishing Lake Michigan. I'm a Wisconsin boy.
Okay.
So I moved out here in '89. So I fished all over. Yeah.
So I mean, that'd be the same situation, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like a fabricated creation that they did to emulate the real salmon. What are the differences? I've always been so curious. Like, what are the differences in the two fisheries? Because I know, like, we just went to the Salmon River in New York, and you're doing this flossing thing, which is basically just hoping to snag the fish in the mouth as they're coming through this pretty shallow river.
Yeah.
You guys got these salmon coming out of the ocean. I mean, the one thing I got to assume is that they're incredibly more powerful than the ones from the Great Lakes.
Yeah, I mean, there's some pretty big fish in Lake Michigan that fought pretty darn hard too. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that you know what, it's been years since I fished back in the Midwest, and I went home for a class reunion. My best friend took me out fishing on Lake Michigan. I said, I'll go cut the salmon while you get the boat tied down, right? So I'm filleting this fish, and I cut it open, and it was almost pure white. And I was like, I forgot about it. Like, they don't have any krill, so they don't have any color. Out here, they're brilliant blaze orange, red, unbelievable table fare. So,
And they taste good.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're dog food here. Dog food. I'm going to take a few comments. I have to. Lord Almighty is on YouTube, as is Captain Dom. YouTube. Kurt Hofbein said Phil is the man, and sturgeon fishing is well worth the flight across the country.
I didn't even realize he's gone.
Me neither. No idea.
How many fans you got out this way, Phil?
What's that?
How many fans do you have out this way?
I don't know.
You seem to have a lot of fans here in New Jersey, Phil.
Yeah, well,
just so everyone knows that is watching this, if you're going to go check out Phil Wildman Outdoor Adventures, he doesn't just sturgeon fish. Yeah. There is a ton of other stuff he does.
You know, you guys are into the multi-species, and can I share a quick story on this?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's why you're here.
So I get this girl, calls me from California, leads out with, I want to take my husband fishing, and I on his birthday. And I said, well, what do you want to go after? And she's like, oh, I don't care, just a fish. I said, well, the walleye fishing is going pretty good. And she's like, yeah, that'd be fine. You know, and this is way back when I just started. And honestly, I didn't even know that the walleye were in the Multnomah Channel, which flows out of the Willamette, dumps back into the Columbia, creates Stauvey Island. Anyways, so I'm doing this in a drift boat with an 8-horse kicker. Meet them. We go out. We only got like 6, I think, keepers. I mean, decent walleye. So it wasn't a great day by any means, but we got 13 species that day, which was kind of cool. And those are all just doing crawler harnesses. But I wrote a list because I wouldn't remember them all, but I thought back through this. So it was walleye, smallie, yellow perch, sculpin, peamouth, pike minnow, catfish, bullhead, salmon, smolt, flatfish, which is a starry flounder, sturgeon, sucker, and to end it all with a carp.
Wait, what was that third or fourth one you said?
Yellow perch?
No, pea something.
Yeah, it was a pea.
They're like a sucker fish, but they have a very small, just a round, tiny little round mouth. And they're kind of like a whitefish, to be honest.
Wow, Chuck Manny would love you. Chuck Manny would love you.
That was quite a day. And not only that, but we're finishing our drift and coming down through this snaggy spot where I always tell my clients, pull them up. And she's like, oh, Phil, I think I've snagged up. And I look at her rod and it just does a boonk. I was like, oh no, start reeling. And I tell you, boys, good fish story here, but it's the truth. I had one of these old Home Depot, not a yardstick, but a 40-inch construction metal stick on the side of the drift boat, right? It's laying there. And this fish comes up and it's on its side. It's done. I mean, and it's the biggest walleye I've ever seen, still to date. And it's on its side, and all of a sudden the hooks are coming at me. And I'm like, oh, shit. It's out of reach. No way I'm getting it with the net. Fish just finally realized it. Away it goes, back down the river, you know, down to the bottom. And she's jumping up and down. She's like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. that was a fish of a lifetime. And I start laughing. I look at her and I go, I've been doing this my entire life, and that's the biggest one I've ever seen. So it was a pretty cool day, you know, and she got her husband a big fish. Well, she got the big one, but she didn't really. So
I mean,
ever since then, I'm still trying to find that damn fish. I'm a junkie.
how big do you estimate it was based on like that? You got that stick
That
there.
upper 30 inches, like probably 37, 38.
Oh
It was
my
a tank.
God. You serious?
Yeah, my biggest one, I haven't caught any big ones in 2 summers, but the last summer I got one that was 34 and a half, and it was just over 13, like 13.3. Yeah, and that was like midsummer, not even pre-spawn. So we have some serious fish here. In the wintertime, I got buddies breaking 15 pretty regularly.
Man.
So,
yeah. Do you ever come out here by chance, Phil, to the East Coast at all, or no?
I have not been on. The last time was probably 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I was in Buffalo, and that was on a golf outing with a buddy from back here. I went to meet his mom. My parents lived in Ohio for a while, so I did fish Erie a few times. Well, that's a fish fest too.
I'm curious. A question I wanted to ask you from watching your YouTube content. Do you hunt also?
Not a lot anymore. I keep saying I'm going to put time aside, and then all I end up doing is fishing.
Because I'd imagine that area, the hunting probably is pretty interesting too.
I moved out here in the summer of '89, and my summer's still going strong. And that's basically because I started getting into elk hunting. I mean, we have a really good elk hunting out here, and
that's incredible.
And it's addictive, and I love calling. So I mean, I don't even hunt barely anymore. I do more calling for my nephew and stuff. So
we've never even seen one of the. Well, maybe Chris. I've never seen one in the woods in my life. I've seen them in the zoo only. So it's just like another planet to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you come out here and fish the coast with me in the wintertime for steelhead or something, most of the time you'll see elk cruising around.
All right, I'm going to get someone, if anyone's watching this that wants to go sturgeon fishing, that would go on a train across the United States, a sleeper train car. I'm in.
Is there anyone listening that's terrified to fly and that can hold Joe's hand on the train across?
Is there anyone listening that's just interested in doing a road trip across the country and possibly stopping at other spots on the way? And then
fish your way.
Fish the way there and Phil's the finale.
That would be fun.
Dude, I'd just fly.
I might fly out to do that trip with you.
How many species can we catch across the entire United States? Someone put that in Chuck Manny's head.
We'll go mess them up.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I will say, hold on. I will say this, that if you put that idea in Chuck's head, he'll do it too, because
I know, and I'm in.
If you do it over the summer, it's not striper season, so he'll do it. And I just want to jump back one more time, because the walleye situation over there is really interesting, and I know about it. Phil told me about it when we were talking fishing on the boat, but I wanted you to share it with everyone from this side of the country, because it was crazy to me, because the walleye here are this like coveted species. Like a lot of people have trouble catching them. They're hard to catch. That you got to fish for very finesse type of style fishing. And they're a stocked species, they're not native to here. And there's only a couple places where you could get them. They don't, a big one is really rare. Like a 30-inch walleye is basically a ultimate trophy catch for New Jersey, I would say. You talk
I
about
have questions for him, Chris, when you have a chance. I'm sorry. But...
All right, real quick. So anyway, the situation with the walleye out by Phil on the northwest coast there is totally different.
Oh, yeah.
And, like the
mentality here is kill them all.
They're an invasive species.
Invasive species, yeah.
That is unbelievable to me.
Everything,
I can't believe that.
Everything here is based upon
unreal.
The salmon fishery. That's what everything gets. The balance.
I do have an internet question that brings that up. What species are the salmon? Are they mainly king salmon, or do you have a mix of?
We get kings and cohos. Earlier in the season, we'll get a small run of sockeye, but they're not nearly as big as Alaskan sockeye, but still good table fare for sure. Normally, like March, you can get them as early as February. The Chinook, spring Chinook will start coming in, and those are definitely our most coveted. They're also the most difficult to catch, but you get one of those and they still haven't even started developing their sex organs. So all that grease and all that oil is still locked into the meat. It's the best salmon you'll ever eat. Everyone says
we
Copper
don't even
River,
have a
but
spring run of those. Ours don't even
no.
run in the spring. It's just
Yeah.
fall.
But you
Another
get one of
question.
those, they're so good.
Another question. Well, I think it's from the salt water too. This stuff from the lakes tastes terrible. The salt water, they eat
That's
better.
and krill.
But
They eat krill in the ocean.
is
That's
that's
a
what
big
turns
deal.
the pink meat so pink, right?
And red and orange and all the
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's
Yep.
delicious.
Flavor.
This stuff, my dog wouldn't eat this shit from here.
Well,
And
let's
once
let's
in the
not
lake, in the
Smoke it.
river. Once it's in the river, I gotta be very like make sure I'm very correct with what I say, or I'll be picked apart by the bone pickers. Jerry Pastorino. This question asks, from the time you started doing this business until now, have the regulations on sturgeon fishing changed much?
As far as a keeper season, yes, by a long shot. Now, I
Oh
mean,
wow,
we're not
I
even
didn't
sure.
even wait a minute. I didn't
You
even
could
know
catch.
that you could keep these things. You could
Yeah,
keep
there's
them.
there's an opener. They'll give us openers every once in a while. You can't keep those big bastards, but you can keep uh anything from uh 52 down to the lower slot limit changes depending on what pool of the Columbia you're fishing, but 52 to like I think 36 or 38. I'd have to look at the regs off the top of my head.
Yeah, the details don't
But
matter.
different pool, but 52 from tip of the nose to the fork in the tail.
And are these
Big. And that's
the
a big
species
fish.
that have the type of um whatchamacallit,
Oh,
Caviar.
caviar.
caviar? Yeah.
I don't think that's the same exact one, but I could be wrong. So I'm sure somebody out there is going to be able to correct me on that.
I know. I mean, there's people eating the shit that comes out of these salmon, and they call it caviar, but it's obviously not caviar.
Yeah.
Matt, we were told that Max Wilson ate a skien sack on like a bet or something.
I've seen Max eat all kinds of shit. He has
Raw,
lip
right out of the
glue in his
fish.
beard.
I think he cooked it, but it's still pretty weird. He's a weirdo.
Well, the last question I have to ask you before we ruin your whole night. For anyone watching this that is interested to come fish with you or just wants to be a weirdo and watch all your videos like me, what's the easiest way to find you and your content?
You can just my YouTube, or what are you talking? You could just
All of it. Give it all away. Put it all out there so they can find it.
oh my gosh. I'm Phil Wildman 1, right? At Phil Wildman 1.
If you type in Phil Wildman Outdoor Adventures, it's gonna come up. Just look for
If
the
you
guy that
Google
looks
me
like
that
Neil Young.
way, if you Google me that way, yes. And if you see
Let
a
me make
dude
sure they're
that's
on
holding a
board.
bunch of fish with a monster Grizzly Adams beard, that was me at one point in time too. I don't know if you fished with me the first year I had the beard or not.
James
Do you
Flynn
remember that,
asks,
Chris? You'd remember it was
I
gigantic.
don't think you did, and I actually
Okay.
think I remember trying to look like for your pages after I'd fished with you to make sure that I was like following them and stuff so I could see your stuff. And I remember seeing you with the beard, and I was like, "Nah, who the hell is that guy? That ain't him. Where the hell's Phil?"
Yeah.
I,
I
I
came back from my last year of Alaska and I said, that's it. And I shaved the beard. I had to do a Duck Dynasty just one time. I told my kids, my youngest daughter, she gave me shit about it. And then finally it grew on everybody. And now what's funny is nobody knows who the hell I am on the river anymore because I don't have it. So everyone's like, oh my God, I didn't even recognize you.
one last question, Phil, and then we will let you go. James Flynn would like to know exactly what does the sturgeon meat taste like? What other fish would you compare it to?
You know, a lot of dudes like to boil it and then dip it in butter and they call it poor man's lobster. I don't feel like it's all that great, but maybe it was boiled too long the time I had it. I just do I do it like walleye. I'll pan fry it, bread it and pan fry it. And it's not nearly as sweet and fall apart good as walleye or even halibut's a little more dense. It's kind of like halibut. It's just a little bit more rubbery, I think.
It's
but
a
it,
white.
I mean,
it's a white
it's
meat.
white. It is, yes. And then it's sort of like catfish. Cut all the bloodline out of it if you want a, good tasting piece of meat. But it's surprising, how big their head is compared to the rest of their body. When you almost want to get one that's at least over 46 inches if you're going to kill one, because the amount you get off of a 38 is minimal because of the head size. It's true. It's really kind of a trip how much you actually harvest. So when you get a 52 incher right under that, you get a pile. But the smaller keepers, not as great.
Phil, I want to thank you for taking the time to come on the NJ Multi-Species podcast and answer all of our questions and talk with us. I hope that you will come back on here again, because we always love to talk fishing. And I want you to know, people like me do appreciate those videos. We do watch and we do like them. So thank you, and I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, my daughter told me you need to do more of that, and since
we appreciate. I mean, we post videos like that too, and we think they're stupid, but people appreciate it. I mean, it's just that's the way it is.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was saying you thought it was weird that like you post all these cool videos of like the sturgeon jumping out of the water and stuff like that. Yeah. And then they don't, and then you post like you pulling up a crab trap with some crabs in it, and that's what gets all. And I was gonna say, like, I think our most popular, like, we post all kinds of stuff too, right? And I still think our most popular video is I'm talking about like millions of views. It's Joe in his garage, like looking up at his lattice fence rod rack, like that he made.
It's very similar, actually, to what's above his head, kind of. It's that kind of like that. That's more simplistic.
But he made it out of like lattice fence, and it's literally just a video of him like filming it, and he's talking like he's like, yeah, so I made this out of lattice fence, and it holds my rod. Like it's
the first viral video we ever posted.
It's the dumbest video I've ever seen. It has millions of likes. It's the most popular video he ever put.
Because dudes want to make that. Dudes can make that. That's the deal. The way I did this, I bought if you look, like up here, it's that wood thing that goes roly poly. That's for those plastic shed roofs, on farms and what have you.
Yeah.
And then that worked out super easy. And then just buy some aluminum angle iron and cut that up with a Sawzall, and you're off and running. Grinder, get the edges off if you really care. And same stuff.
Joe,
good job, Joe.
Joe, did Dave ever make it on to? I know he wanted to.
I did not see. There are a lot of people on. Phil is apparently very popular. I'm having trouble watching both.
That's because
of you
guys.
feeds,
Thank you. Tell Dave.
Yeah, Dave didn't make it on. He's probably sleeping.
I have to bust his balls just on one thing, because when he was getting interviewed by you guys, he says, we even let the guide reel one in. You know why, Joe? Because none of these sissies wanted to do it themselves. They said, go ahead and take it. And how long did it take me to get that one in, Chris?
Don't. It wasn't all of it. It was Dave's turn. And
I know.
He wanted to.
I got that thing in under 5 minutes.
It was a little smaller than like some of the others.
It certainly was.
Under 5 minutes. All right. So when Dave sees this, he's going to be so pissed off now.
But no, listen, Phil. In all seriousness, like I know Dave has told you himself, probably multiple times. He probably got your number and keeps texting you. Like, you were a part of like making his life. I mean, when he
much fun.
When he saw the trip that we did the year before, and he called me and like talking to me about how he wanted to do this, I was like, I had to go again. Like, this is a trip that I wish I could do every year, but I probably can't. Maybe it's something I could do every year, 2 years, 3 years, something like that. Like, I'm going to get out there and fish with you as much as I can, but it ain't going to be every year. I just can't pull it off. Right. But I wish I could, but I knew we had to go again. And like, he could not stop talking about it. He still won't stop talking about it. I'll go catfishing with him, and he's still talking about it. And he wanted to know. I know he wanted me to ask you if I think did he send those little shad?
I got the shad darts. I got all the shad stuff, but I won't be able to use any of it until shad season, which is until spring.
Right. No, but he wanted to make sure you got. He really wanted to send you those because when we were catching shad for the bait, he couldn't believe. He's a big shad fisherman here.
I know.
And we have this huge shad contest here. I got the shirt on every year. I haven't actually even done it. Dave just gave me the shirt. But he's a big shad fisherman here, and they fish for them not completely different, but I remember he was like very surprised in the differences of the shad fisheries on both sides.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was cool. And I know he really wanted to get you those spoons. So I'm glad they made it out there. And maybe after you get to use them next spring, come back on the show and talk about that too, because that was pretty interesting.
That'd be cool. Yeah. He sent those. Yeah. Joe, did they tell you that Dave and I have the exact same birthday minus, I think I'm 6 years younger, but we found that out while we were sitting on the boat. And that's why I figured.
No one did tell me that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
we had the same as November 20th. So we were both like, now I know why he's a big asshole, just like me.
He is a big asshole. Dave, if you eventually watch
Dave,
the show, a huge asshole.
Messing with you.
Phil, thank you so much. Hopefully someone watching wants to be my friend and go on a train, and I'll get to come one day.
Yeah, hey, Phil at Wildman Outdoor Adventures.com. You could just Google me. You can, I think my number's pretty much on anything too. So you can just text or call me if you want to come out and do some fishing, anything. You let me know and I'll get you out there.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, they could just ask. I'll give them. If someone asks, I give them your number. Obviously,
it's all public. Yep.
All right.
Feel free, please. Love it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I really had a nice time. Thanks.
Awesome.
Absolutely,
all right.
Phil.
Take care.
All right, take care, bud.
And it was correction, Kyle Hofline. Katie is yelling at me that I said it was Kurt Hofig. I don't know if I did that, but
I thought you were talking about Kurt Hofig.
No, it's Kyle Hofline, not Hofig.
What's wrong with you?
I don't think
that's my brother-in-law. That's who came.
Well, I don't think I said Kurt Hofig. I said Katie's brother-in-law.
No, you didn't. You literally said Kurt Hofig, and I thought that Kurt Hofig went out there and fished.
Hey, maybe Kurt Hofig, if you're watching, have you ever gone? Maybe he's gone too. But Kyle Hofline did go. Kyle, I'm sorry I messed your name up. Chris will buy you a hat for my mistake.
You'll get the hat for free.
So I would say that this was somewhat. We'll have to talk to Deuce and see if he yells at us or not. Which Deuce said he's going to start coming on the mic more often. He did help me here by telling me some of the YouTube comments.
Yeah, I mean...
It seems like YouTube was successful. There was people watching on YouTube and commenting there, too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we ever expect... Like, look, we don't expect 500 people to watch this live. Like, you know, like all the people that watch this eventually as it's up for a week or two, you know, the
500 people.
What?
500 people all pretty much watched it live already.
Did they? No. I don't believe that for a second. But anyway.
Well, then YouTube's fake. I don't know.
500 people turned it on. It counted as a view, and then they turned it off when they saw your face. But
I did not know you were an analytics professional like that. But yet you don't know how to turn a phone on.
No, I don't. I hate technology. But... No, I mean, I'm kidding, but my point is... I
minimized the podcast on my screen and now can't find it. It's gone. I know I'm still on here somehow, but the screen's gone. I'm just talking to a wallpaper.
I can still hear you, so you're good. My point is, though, it doesn't really matter how many people watch it live. It's there as an option.
Yeah, basically the issue was a lot of people like the live, but then Deuce had to go in and make another one and repost it to Facebook and YouTube again. So we're just doing this. This is going to be it. Like, this is the show.
And we had some sound issues, I think, on the Chuck Manny episode that Deuce fixed now. But if you watched it on, like, the first 12 hours that it was up, I think the sound cut out at a couple of points. That, I believe, is completely fixed now in case you're hearing this and you want to go back and check it out, because obviously...
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we're not doing that anymore, because transferring the episode over causes those problems. So this is the episode. It's going to be live. The Facebook one only stays for 30 days, and then they take it down. Why they do that, I don't know. The
Oh,
YouTube one will stay there. So it kind of needs to be done actually because the Facebook ones will vanish after 4 weeks.
now
If
what
anyone
about
on here knows why they do that, I'd like to know because it makes no sense.
Spotify? Are we still then transferring it to Spotify?
That is a question for Deuce. I believe that's fairly easy for him to do. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, he's recording, but we're asking you a question. Are you still somehow putting these on Spotify? Okay, so the episode will still go to Spotify, but there is no new one coming on to YouTube now. This is it. This is the episode live. So if you want to tune in live on Monday nights to say things to us, you can. If not, you could just watch this whenever you want all week.
What percentage of people do you think now watch this just live just because they're hoping that something absolutely ridiculous will happen that we then can't edit out of the show?
I really don't know. Live is a new trend. It's not something that was huge when I was like younger, like it was radio. This wasn't around. This is cool. Like Lard Almighty's here commenting. Captain Dom is here talking about the Christmas party. I mean, this is awesome. This is like new wave radio meets podcast. I love this.
Dom and Kim promised that they were all in for the Christmas party.
They bet that's what I wrote in there. Dom and Kim, if you have to come to the Christmas party. That's non-negotiable. December 6th. If you plan to go, make plans. December 6th, save the date, and get the tickets as soon as possible because they will be impossible to get. Like I don't even probably have one for myself. I do real have to give a quick shout out to my main man, Jerry Zagorski. 28 years as the #1 resource in freshwater and saltwater in New Jersey. Free email Jerry gets you on the forums. Also shows you all the party boats. Also interesting news coming up. Roger I don't know if Chris, you want to talk about this real quick. Roger who's been on the show twice, and we have had fairly civil conversations with him. He wants to come on the podcast and talk about things that he does not agree with. And he has several topics that are kind of like fiery, controversial. He wants to go at it with us. So an upcoming episode is us going to be debating Roger
Yeah. He reached out to me, and it's nothing like he doesn't want to come on here and attack us. He texted me, and he had been looking through some of our stuff, and he said, hey, I was looking through some of your stuff, and I realized that I think we may really disagree, like complete opposite sides of the spectrum on a couple of major things, and fishing things, obviously. And I said, really? I said, I didn't really think that I had held any stances in the fishing world that were that crazy that someone could completely disagree with them on. And he said, yeah, no, it'd be a cool episode. And I said, yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I said, I kind of want to be surprised by it. I don't even really want you to tell me now, but I'm curious. So he did tell me a little bit, and yeah, it should be a really cool episode. We don't do this show to just for everyone to come on and agree with, and only our friends come on. We literally say it over and over again. Anyone can come on. In fact, every time some asswad behind the keyboard in the shadows likes to bash something that us or one of our friends posts or says, I always invite them on the show. And 100% of the time so far, they vanish. As soon as you invite them on the show, you invite them to come out from behind the keyboard and actually have a conversation about it, they vanish every single time. And so just so everyone's clear, we mean it when we say anyone can come on. If you send us a message, I mean, if you come on there and call us dickheads, I'm just going to make fun of you back. But if you come on and say, look, you guys are all wrong about this, or this type of fishing is so dumb, like this is a better way to do it, whatever it is, you will always be welcome on the show to come talk about it. Right? So I just want to put that out there again. I've put it out there multiple times. Anyone can come on the show for any outdoors reason that they want. So,
All right. We are going to be done for tonight, but we will be back again next week.
You want to announce the guest for next week, or?
I couldn't hear you for a second. It cut out.
It cut out. I said, did you want to announce the guest for next week?
Yeah, you can.
All right. So we got. I'm pretty sure both of them are showing up, but for sure we've got Morgan Woods from Project Healing Waters, and I believe Andy Laffey, who's also a member of Project Healing Waters, is going to join him as well. But for sure, we'll have Morgan Woods from Project Healing Waters on the show.
That's cool. Okay, so we will be back next week live. And I'm done. Chris, you have anything else?
No more comments. No one bashed us. Nobody
No.
wants to come on the show.
No, we're good to go for tonight. John Gabrini is here. Shout out to him. Andrew still just showed up. Andy, the show's over, though. You missed it. We will be back next week, though.
He definitely purposely comes on right when it's over just to like be like, oh, what's going on? The show's over?
Yes.
All right.
100%. I'll see everyone next week. Thank you, James.
You missed the show. Suffer for the fish. Suffer for the tires, whatever you're doing. We'll see you next time. It starts at 7, Andy. 7.